Hey people, it is a pleasure reading most Warhammer books, Warhammer 40k books, and this is no exception. This is a Sanctuary of Worms, a book about the Tau Empire, actually. And I know, everyone hates the Tau. You know, they're genocidal, evil, objectively horrible people. Not people, aliens, right? And these warmongers that are completely irrational. But that being said, I don't like that portrayal of the Tau, to be honest. I do like seeing them from their perspective. What makes them tick? What is their lines of reasoning that cause them to become like this, right? And this book provides a great insight into the way that they are, really. A great insight into their beliefs. And I think it's a great book. I rate it 10 out of 10. Just off the bat, it's a short book. It's not, not exactly. That's the only problem I have with it. It's not nearly worth the price that is asked for it, but you can get it in a pack. I got it in the Tau Empire book, like the volume, where it's a bunch of short books about the Tau Empire condensed into one book. Very cheap for what it was. But again, the rest of the books about the Tau Empire, they tend to be lower quality. This is the exception, that proves the rule. Anyhow, so to summarize, right, this is Phaedra on the planet Phaedra, which is a world where the Tau and the Imperium are in this kind of long war where they're just slowly grinding away at each other. And this Tau Watercast lady, she gets put on this planet for really no real purpose. And in fact, in the book, it gets pointed out by the Watercast in charge. Who did you offend? This is not a place for people or for, promising Tau. This is a place for, rejects and cast offs, right? So they've been assigned to map out Phaedra, map out a part called the Coil. And again, I skipped ahead a little bit, but basically, you get to see that the Tau caste system isn't as smooth as the Ethereals like to pretend it is. It's narrated from the perspective of the Watercast lady herself. And she's like, I came to detest every single one of my companions, and Jakara, the Firecast woman, most of all. And you see a little bit of the like the Imperium's influence seeping in on the Tau, where she calls the tainted. She calls the Firecast lady tainted by the world. It's an irrational term, but whatever. We know that the irrational lunatics are right. That this planet, actually, if we go into other books, is corrupted by chaos, and not very strongly corrupted, but chaos is influencing it very slowly. They come across an Inquisition outpost, essentially, and we know it's Inquisition because it has that eye on it, and she doesn't recognize it. But we know because, we have that other knowledge. It goes to show that the Tau really are genuinely naive about pretty much everything. And they're so confused because, oh, why would the Imperials be here before the world? Uh, Before the war, because Imperials have been everywhere. They are old, The Tau are these new upstarts, and they just don't know how big the Imperium truly is. And they decide to open it and to see what the Inquisition was hiding. And you see there's a adept who shot himself, the Mechanicus tech priest who shot himself. And they're just so confused. What happened? Emperor protect us. That is a line that I'm interested in. Do you think that the Emperor protects people who turn their back on him to join the Tau? I don't think so. That's stupid. The Emperor, this guy's gonna die, and he's gonna get straight eaten by demons. I guarantee it. But cleansed, another term that sits uneasily with the Tau, yet it is the right term, which is yes, we are seeing that the Tau, at least this lady in particular, is accepting the imperial truth that there are objective evils out there and that we need to fight them. These creatures are unclean, they are twisted. They're gene stealers. If you look at the, description, these are gene stealers. They're not humans. And we see space marines, or the corpses of space marines. And the Firecast is all reverent. Oh my God, space marines! They're so beautiful. They're so awesome, And that is honestly the right way to look about it. Honestly, if you look at like a Tau warrior, they're about half the size of a space marine, and she's just in awe. She's like, "Wow, this is so." And they're describing a kill team, a Death Watch kill team, because I think everyone already knows, but Death Watch is like mixed groups from different chapters. They wear all black except for their pauldron. Uh, and there's a little funny line about his grasp of aesthetics has been woeful, which honestly, yeah, I don't blame her. White Scar, oh my God, why are they all working together? This is so weird. Again, we know it's because it's a Death Watch kill team. They don't. And then the Firecast warrior realizes that these are Tyranids, and she's the only one that knows about the Tyranids out of this entire group of Tau and Janissaries. Because again, the Tau, they keep everything hidden. They're ethereals. They don't let anyone know anything. It's just a coddled fake safety. You get what I'm saying? And the Watercast notices that the Firecast lady, she's simping hard for these space marines. I sensed her admiration ran deeper. Yeah, I wonder why. So the Iron Hand, right? He's actually still alive if you look at it. Uh, the and then the fucking Earth cast, fucking dummy is just like, oh, maybe the Imperium were trying to communicate with the Tyranids. You can't really blame him. He doesn't know anything about the Tyranids. He knows only what the Tau Firecast warrior just told him right now, so I can't really fault him for that. But the Firecast is probably correct right here. Well, not really correct. We do know, we have our information that yes, the Imperium is rogue traders, what it uses to negotiate with other factions outside the Imperium. But the Imperium does not seek to communicate with the Tyranids. The Imperium has inadvertently communicated with the Tyranid hive mind, I would assume, because every time you get psychers when they're in the shadow of the warp, a lot of them accidentally communicate with the hive mind, although it leaves them, nearly dead. I think everyone knows that story. There's a librarian who tried to communicate with the Tyranid hive mind, and he was just pretty much broken afterwards. So we know that the Imperium is trying to develop a bioweapon against the Tyranids. Frankly, I get it. Yeah, they're trying to figure out anything that they can use. But at the end of the day, we know that the Imperium already has a solution to the Tyranid problem. We know that the Imperium, when it comes down to it, they can use the Life Eater virus, which the Tyranid doesn't have any answer to. They can use cyclonic torpedoes, and they can just reseed the planet after they've exterminated it. And we know from Belisarius' call, this process only takes about 4 centuries, at most. And she realizes that the Iron Hand is awake, still alive. Oh, okay, this isn't really the part relevant to that. This is about the idiot Earthcast accidentally waking up the Gene Stealers. Now, the Iron Hand communicates with the Watercast person. Power, I need energy. Can you believe that? That is kind of weird. It kind of goes against what you get told about Space Marines and their hatred of aliens. But at the end of the day, if you've got to choose between Tau or Tyranid, rationally speaking, we know Iron Hands, they're really dedicated to their mission and they just don't think about other things not pertinent to their mission. So I guess it's kind of reasonable. She feeds the Iron Hand some energy and honest hatred. I love that. I actually love that line. It is an honest hatred to hate the alien, at least the Tyranid. Uh, and yeah, like she's just, her mind is completely snapped. She doesn't believe in the greater good. I should have taken a screenshot of that as well. Uh, I really should have, but yeah, that's basically it. The Iron Hand saves her, and she and the Firecast warrior feed the Iron Hand the rest of their weapons and power packs and whatnot. Um, which honestly, again, like her narration of this does make sense. It doesn't make sense to feed the Iron Hand because he is technically the enemy of the Tau, but they just worship him. And I love the way that it is portrayed. She kneels before him. Let me see if I can find it. Like an offering to some primal god. That I actually love that line. You know what I'm saying? Because that really is the right way. The Tau should be subservient to humanity. That's perfect. That is utterly glorious. And she goes later to finish off the rest of the Gene Stealers because the corruption still exists. And they go together. She's with the Iron Hand carrying grenades. Um, and the reason she gives for her not going back instead of the Fire Warrior is that she's corrupted. Not necessarily by the Gene Stealer. It didn't carry the corruptive. Uh, Sting did not carry the infection. She says she might. She has a fever or something. So, but then again, it's Phaedra. The entire world is sick. So I'm not gonna say for sure because again, the Gene Stealer, she would have been infected. If she'd been infected by now, she would have turned. But the reason she gives is that she's also been corrupted because she no longer believes in the greater good. She's turned traitor. She's joined the Imperium, basically, which is really what I like. You get another view of the Tau. Everyone always sees the Tau as just these evil, mind-controlled zombies, but I really like this book because it gives just a different perspective, and you get to see the Tau as a bit more human than we initially perceive them. I really do like that. I think next week I'll do a video on a book about Star Wars, actually, where we get to look at the fanatical extremism and the terrorist acts of the Rebel Alliance. And really, I'm going to look at it through that lens. That's the book that I'm going to focus on. We'll see what happens. In all likelihood, I'll just end up not making a video because I'm lazy. But yeah, that was a great book. I liked it. Hope to see you again.